Good enough Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos, Parshas Kosai, the end of the book of Vayikra. 2 weeks before Shavuos, less than 2 weeks before Shavuos. And we know that the reading in this week's parsha, one of the main parts of the parsha is the parsha of Tochacha. We also know Tochacha is written twice in the Torah, and that we know that the Tochacha in Devarim, Parshas Kisavo is read right before Rosh Hashanah. The Tochacha now, at the end of Vayikra, is read before Shavuos, and the Gemara tells us that the reason why these are read at these times during the year and why the Chazal instituted them at these times, Shetich Lashana V'Kil that the year should end and its curses should end also. Put the curses behind us, and then we can start the year afresh. Now I understand how that applies to Rosh Hashanah because we're about to go into the beginning of the year. Fresh new start. Leave all the bad stuff, all the complications behind us, and then start fresh. What does that have to do with Shavuos? The year is not ending in any kind of way. So what does it mean the year should end and the klala should be behind us? So we know that the Mishnah in Rosh Hashanah tells us, 4 times a year when the world is judged. On Pesach it's judged, on wheat, on Shavuos it's judged, on the Peiros Ha'ilon, on the fruits of the tree. On Rosh Hashanah, the human beings, the world is judged. And on Sukkot, when Nidanin Alamayim, we're judged on the waterfall of the year. So there is a time of judgment, a new start now in Shavuos, based on the peiros, based on the fruits of the tree. But very nice, but what does that have to do with me? Plus, there are 4 of them. So this Tichla Shana V'Kil Leisel should actually be 4 times a year, not just twice a year. And it says that we're judged on Peiros Ha'ilon. Why not Peiros Ha'ilonos? The fruits of the trees. So I think that though Mishnayos are teaching us halachos, I think that there is a metaphoric concept being presented here. That we know there are a lot of parallels between human beings and trees. The simplest, most profound, if you were to ask anyone, how are human beings compared to trees? We know that in the Torah it says, Ki Adam Eitz Hasada, that we're like the trees of the field. On so many levels, we're like the trees of the field. Even though the Gemara, the pasuk really asks it as a question, but we use it as a statement. We are like trees in the field because there's so many parallels. There's so many things that are similar between our lives and the way that a tree grows. We have roots, we have a trunk, we have fruit. Many of our rabbis compare the roots to our tefillos, to our prayers, which connect us to God, connect us to our lives. Our trunk, which is Torah, and then our peiros, our fruits, which are masim tovim, which are our good deeds. We also understand that when a fruit tree bears fruit, it stays around. It's not just that it bears fruit and then it dies and it leaves. A fruit tree specifically is something that is there and continues on even after it bears fruit. We know that the Gemara tells us in Tainus, when 2 rabbis were about to leave each other, one of them turned to the other and said, "What should I bless you with?" So he gave him an example. It's like you say to a tree, if I turn to the tree and I say your fruit should be sweet, your fruits are sweet. That your shade should be beautiful, your shade is already beautiful. So then how do you bless a tree? That everything that grows from your tree should be just like you. And that's the way we bless another human being. We turn to another human being and we say, "What should I bless you with?" Im b'Torah arei Torah, im ba'isha arei Aisha, im b'banim arei banim. Elo yi ratzon shiyud tzedzoecho, tzedzoe me'echo kamoischa. That the things that come from you should be exactly like you. And then we use the tree as the model. Like a tree puts forth fruits and shoots and grows more trees. That's the way you, the human being, should be. We even talk about our avodah. Our service to God is compared to that of a tree. That He planted us with a chai olam, with a desire for an everlasting life and for living forever, for eternality. So I think what the Mishnah is telling us is that when it says that on Shavuos we are nidainin al peros ha'ilon, that we're judged for the fruits of the tree, it's Elon, it's the tree. The human being is being judged for the kinds of fruits, for the kinds of masim tovim and Torah that it's going to produce. How much siyata d'shmaya he's going to have to be able to put the klalos behind us, to be able to put the curses and to be able to put the blockades and to be able to put those things that stand, the impediments that stand in front of us and that block us from growing and from moving forward. How much heavenly help we're going to have to be able to put that behind us and to be able to grow and to be able to strive upwards like a tree reaches upwards. And we use the metaphor of a tree because a tree reminds us that we have to nurture our souls, we have to water them, we have to care for them. We have to enhance their growth. We have to do things that are going to make them grow in the most beautiful, pristine way. I think that's the reason why, one of the reasons why we have the minute to put trees in shul. They explain that it's connected somehow to Har Sinai. It's beautiful, but the other is that when we see the trees, we're reminded, strive, grow, paris, produce something, do something, make fruits. And the only way to do that is that the year has to end, that the things that hold us down, that shackle us, they have to be gone. And then we can go and get the brachas. Then we can go and get the blessings in our lives. We say a beautiful pasuk. Say it every Shabbos. Shesulim b'veis Hashem b'chatzois elokeinu yafrichu. That we are planted in the house of God, and in the chatzos Hashem, the chatzos in the courtyards of our God, yafrichu. That's when we're going to flourish. If we remind ourselves that we're here to connect to God, to live with God, that we're here for a purpose, to live a life of meaning, not to live with emptiness, but to live with purpose, with doing something. If we're reminded of that, then that's when we flourish. Shavuos, we're going to accept the Torah. We're going to re-accept the Torah. We're going to start making new paris. We're going to start making new fruit. The spiritual year has another kickstart now on Shavuos when we reignite ourselves with the fire of Torah. In order to be able to do that, we need to read the Teichacha. We need to read about the blockages, about walking away from God, about the looseness, about the weakness that we have inside of us, so that Shetich Lashana, get rid of those blockages, get rid of those barriers, so that we can climb forward. We have just a few days left till Shavuos. But we have the most powerful time now to use this time to plant ourselves in the house of God. Shabbos. There should be a certain sense after we read the Torah this Shabbos and we read the Teichacha this Shabbos, there should be a certain sense of, well, I'm glad that's behind me. Because now that I've taken that off me, I've taken that burden off me, I've taken those shackles off me, now I can start to grow. Now I can take my final spurt, my final sprint, my final run, and get myself ready to stand at the foot of that mountain. And when I hear those words on Shavuos morning, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Otzeisicha me'eretz Mitzrayim, I'm the Lord your God who took you out of the land of Egypt, I can feel that God is talking to me. And I can feel myself ready to replant myself so that I can grow and produce the most amazing fruits the most amazing Torah, the most amazing Maasim Tovim, good deeds, that I'm ready now to leave that stuff behind and to soar to the heights of connection to the Master of the universe.